Bolt's a slow start, slow end, punctuated by two very competitive quarters. Do you take a lot of positives out of tonight? How did you approach it with the boys just then?
The one thing I liked was the resilience and determination to fight back. There was a 4-minute period in the first where they've kicked 3 goals pretty quickly, and I think it was 5 goals of deficit. So the group didn't lie down, and they won't lie down after this weekend. And it's a marathon. It's a moment in time. We're really determined to get a result quick, and we thought we were a real chance at three-quarter time. I know they're resilient. I know they'll dig in, but we're determined to get a result. And then in the last, there was again another 4-minute period where they've kicked 3 goals. So ultimately, there's the deficit. And against a quality team that we all respect in this competition, we took it up to them. But there was some lapses there that we need to keep working through as a group that's growing and learning about each other.
It looked at stages that Paddy did a brilliant job amassing possessions and shutting down Dusty at stages. But did you think of tagging Koch, or that wasn't really an option in terms of the way you set up?
Oh, well, you always give something up. I'm not being disrespectful to both of those players because they're elite in the competition. But in the middle 2 quarters, we're winning the inside 50 battle. So sometimes you can have a player on top and it disrupts all of what you're doing. But they had their moments, there's no doubt about that, where they were powerful, but so did some of our mids, so we chose not to.
This time a year ago, definitely this time 2 years ago, Dusty tries to break a tackle in round 1 and he gets away with it. How symbolic was it tonight that twice he's tried that move and your blokes grabbed him and got him? I
think there's one thing we did do well was tackle. Fisher's tackle, I think you can recall. Plowman, I reckon, was another one. There's some really good tackles that, in vision you'd be able to find and see where there was a real determination. I can remember Gibbons' smother there, deep on his own, and Harry Mackay took some strong marks. So I think some of the effort indicators there were pretty strong. But in the game itself, there was those 2 4-minute periods. We overused the ball. I think we had far too many handballs. I think we're just a little bit too cute under pressure early, particularly. Some overuse with handball. That invites pressure, I reckon, early in the season. So we can tidy up that. And on some of their balls that they've kicked long down the line, we didn't get a spoil on it, or we never had enough numbers there and it got out the back. So there's some areas of growth for us, really specifically about the game.
Just taking us back to early in that second quarter, Bolts, you're down by nearly 40 points. They had all the momentum. You had a young team. How did you feel looking out amongst your young group and then seeing them in that 5-10 minute period respond? Because at that point it could have been a really heavy loss. In the big picture sort of things, it must have been just so encouraging for you.
Yeah, it is, because there's 13 guys that are new to this team and 6 who have debuted. It's taken us 3 years to get the list together that we want to hold together for a long time. I'm falling in love with our players. I know that sounds mushy. I know it's a word that we don't use a lot, but they're really tight and of same age. They're having really open discussions with me about how they feel and I with them, and we're connecting really strongly. So there's an element of pride when they do that, a real strong element of pride. We just need to learn to do it for longer. We overused the ball, as I said, but I think we may have even we're having a shot to turn it to 7 points or something at one stage. Something around that, I would have thought. So that they fought really hard, but some mature heads prevailed in the end. And they are the benchmark, and we've got to chase it down really hard, determined to get a result.
Richmond had that 70th defender fair in that first quarter. Is that an adjustment that you guys made from the coach's box to even that out, and do you think that played a bit of a role in the game?
We didn't equalise the 7th. I think we had 6 forwards at the time, so it was a 6v7. So we thought that those numbers can handle a spare when they drop one back. Our guys get so excited about the momentum of the game. Sometimes when there's extra numbers back, you just got to be a little bit slower and calm down and use that. So they'll learn that in time. But you talk about the energy. when they were coming. You know, Murphy kicked that goal in his 250th. You saw the unity amongst the group. That's symbolic of their tightness.
How did you view the ruck battle? Andrew Phillips sort of standing as number one ruck.
Yeah, it's a really strong contest. I think on clearances we nudged ahead by 3 or 4, maybe. So I'd have to break it down and look at the specifics of that. But I think we got on top just in the clearances. But in saying that, I thought we were too cute at clearances as well, as I've already alluded to. We overhandballed a bit. Needed to take some territory under pressure, and they're good at putting pressure on you.
Your key position players, you've mentioned Harry. Wiedering was really strong. Just after Morwell and tonight, are you getting worried at all early in the season about Charlie?
Getting worried about Charlie?
Just his form early in the season?
I think Charlie would be the first to admit he can grow. You also got to understand in this first game he was up probably against one of, if not the best defence in the competition. I'm sure Charlie will look at his game and go, there's areas to grow in. He probably wasn't as clean as he'd like. He double touched quite a few balls, so he'll work on his touch. But he got his hands on it, but just didn't complete it. So I think there's an easy fix for it, and he'd be determined on that. But I don't want to be disrespectful to the defence. There's a quality defence, and I hope Rance is okay. I don't know what's unfolded there, because you want those types of players out there.
Well, do you have a view on Jones's block on Rewell?
I didn't see it.
What were the reports out of the VFL practice match before the game? Any word on how the guys fared, or you didn't?
I was so tunnel visioned on being prepared for this, I don't know. I haven't even asked, but I'll watch the tape during the week and see what happened there.
Yeah, 6 newcomers. How pleased were you? Like Walsh, Newman, got you going in the third quarter big time? Just, generally they seem to all offer.
Yeah, I just think our depth of talent and unity's been growing for 3 years, and we now just need it to gel. But Walsh's run. What do you have? 24 on debut. He's 18 years old. That's a fair effort. Newey's slotted in really well. 26. It was a fair goal he kicked, and a lot of metres gained. I reckon he'd be in excess of 500 metres gained, Newey. So he's going to be a valuable addition to us. But we're pretty determined to not lie down. They didn't lay down. There were some periods where they got on top in bursts, but we didn't lay down, and we're determined to get a result.
I reckon 12 months ago that mightn't have been the case. When they got out 40 points, 12 months ago it mightn't have happened. They might have fallen away.
Yeah. Well, we did fall away last year. But the comparison means nothing, because there's 13 different players, so I don't even know why we're comparing to last year. It's a different group. We're talking about 2 different groups, so how do you compare, My mind's all moving forward. I'm not worried about last year.
What do you think of the new rules, the 666? Does it feel as if it had much impact? I mean, only for centre bounce, it seemed like it didn't really change much, except for that first 15, 20 seconds each restart.
Yeah, you're limited tactically, so for coaches they're probably saving a lot of time in meetings this year versus in the past, because a lot of time spent on where you're going to put the numbers game, around the square, I mean. But I think it's a fantastic rule. I think the AFL have done a great job with that, because you can see quality midfielders in space. You saw a bit of that tonight with both teams.
Did you feel the new look forward line gelled as the game went on, Bolt?
I think it got progressively better, particularly in the second and third. We never had enough entries in the first. But David Teague will work really hard to keep growing. There's a lot of new faces there, and our expectation is really high. Yeah, I haven't been given an injury report, but I think we're pretty clean. Yeah, which is a bonus. Thank you.